So I've got a question for you for all the finance professionals in my network that may be watching this. Have you gone to a conference so far in 2024 and got much of the same topics, the same discussions as to what we were having in 2023, maybe even the year before, and maybe even 2020? Are we actually hearing anything different on our stages when we go to these conferences? And they are important places to connect with each other, to learn as a finance community. And my word for this year is about breaking through. And for me, that means to stop playing it safe anymore. And I feel like we haven't got enough time for playing it safe in our roles as finance stewards and finance professionals, running the businesses, the organizations that we do around the world. So there's lots of different topics out there that are currently on CFO and CEO minds. One that I've shared recently with McKinsey talks about the 8 topics on a CEO's mind around, unsurprisingly, AI and technology and the transition for energy and cleaner energy. But then talking about, how to create our own and manage our own and leverage our own superpowers, and how do we encourage and empower our middle managers. And then thinking about topics like navigating courageous growth and what a new lens on a macroeconomy looks like. Now, these are some of the topics that I think we should be having in the CFO conference debates. People on stage, people in conversations, in panel conversations around what can we do that's different. If we keep doing the same as what we've always done, of course we're going to get the same as that we've always got. So almost a version of insanity there. So how do we think about moving away from profit on a pedestal? How are we thinking about growth and the measures in growth that may not be CAGR and financially driven, all about getting more in a planet where we've got finite resources? I mean, it doesn't really add up, right? The maths doesn't work. So how do we think about pricing in the impact that our businesses are having on the world and on the nature and the environment and the social frameworks within which we operate? These are the conversations I want to have on stage. We can't wait for regulation to legislate what we have to do in terms of our business, in terms of our reporting, but in terms of our business decisions, we've got to empower ourselves as a finance community to be better and to lead better. We haven't got time. If it's taken 4 to 6 years to get the first international sustainability standards out, we can't wait another 6 years for the next round and the next round. And it's really frustrating from a local perspective versus an international perspective. What's Australia going to do and take from the international standards, and what must businesses think about when they're operating across the world? We can't just take a climate approach to these sustainability standards. We have to think about the impact socially that we're having, environmentally that we're having on everything around us. So it's time for a new business language. It's time for a new set of business metrics. It's time to disrupt our thinking, to get new models, maybe even to get a new balance sheet. How do we price in the impact, the planetary impact that we're having? These are the conversations I want to have on stage. And it's unsurprising when I talk to conference organizers that they're not ready to have me on stage because I'm potentially shaking up the current model that we have. So I'm sick of playing it safe. If you're sick of playing it safe, come and join me over on Future Finance Thinkers, or reach out to me, because I want to speak on stage where we're talking about the future and not the past.